Hey guys, so we're doing something special. Obviously, we're all doing the right thing at the moment. We're staying at home. So it's a Throw Raw in the Raw home special. And yes, we have the great man, Andrew Locke.
Live and dangerous, Dr. Sam. This is superb. In the home office today instead of the gym office.
That's right. That's right. What a way to connect.
Brilliant. Look, it's so easy, isn't it? We've got so many media connections, so many different apps we can play with. This is endless. The opportunities that are now coming at us are huge.
That's right, big man. So what have you been up to?
So, well, mostly in doing the important things instead of the urgent things. I think that's one of the best lessons we can have at this time. Is often we are encountering lots of urgent things when we're so face-to-face all the time. We're given lots of questions and lots of things to do. We're often doing things that aren't really important to us. We're just responding to urgent things. So suddenly this quieting time allows us to really focus upon the things that are super important to us. What are the important things we should have been concentrating on? And I'm finding this is really superb. I'm actually getting to catch up on a lot of the things that people have asked me about, just keep not quite catching up on.
That's
so
right.
Lots of work for the online, lots of online programming work, lots of video editing work that you'll be doing as well. So we're really actually probably focusing on our quality instead of our quantity.
That's right. So famous book called Eat That Frog pretty much sums up what you said. Do the most important things first on top of the list. So if you haven't checked out that book, it's called Eat That Frog. And just like you said, do the most important things first, get them out of the way, even though they might be annoying or frustrating, and just ensure that you get it done the right way. And yeah, that's right.
So it's called Eat That Frog, is it?
Yeah. So it's a
I think
highlight.
the Chinese version. I think the Chinese ones eat that.
No, please don't say it. Please, Julie, please. Where's Julie? We need to censor him. Do not say it. We all know what you're thinking.
It's been done.
We all know
it's already there.
Oh, good stuff. Yeah. So talk to me.
These are the important things that yeah.
Talk to me.
So this is great for me because I've spent so many years probably jotting down so many important notes I keep on trying to put together into some form of cohesive content and coherent content. So this is wonderful because the opportunity is really starting to thread things together for me. So the next few, I suppose, weeks especially are going to be super important. It's a great time to really get onto the things that we really wanted to do.
So these things that you've been writing down for years and years, your notes,
yeah.
Is it a journal? Is there a book coming out? Have you published a book before?
Yeah, well, here's a fun thing. I probably wrote a book 15 years ago called The Kettlebell Solution to Lower Back Pain.
Okay.
And really it encompasses everything I ever put in my original courses I used to do. But I never actually put it together in a publishable form. It was always ready to go, but never edited up enough. Oh, well, now I've actually got a little bit of IT skill. I can actually do things and actually add in the photograph work I needed to do. And hey, with things as people expect now, we even include videos. So it's a great opportunity for that. And of course, the website that I even started to have rolling very much earlier this year, we're actually getting time to put the content together and to put everything together. So hopefully that should be online in a couple of weeks.
That's right.
I mean, I love seeing the patient.
It's a big year for you. So if you want to tell the people that don't know just yet that you're actually going to go on an online platform bigger and better than ever, Super Doc's going worldwide.
Well, I've been doing it for probably almost 10 years. Is a lot of athletes and people around the world contact me and ask me for help. And of course, what I have to do, I do it by phone or by email. And it's actually because of a lot of experience, a lot of time. It's very easy for me to even diagnose a person realistically, even from an email, because
some people actually call you a human MRI. You just look at someone. You're a human X-ray machine. So you look at someone's walk and you can just see right through their skeletal system, their muscles. You're walking, talking MRI.
Well, realistically, I'm not much different to a mechanic who deals with cars because there's only so many body parts and there's so many muscles and there's so many nerves, and it's like a car. Things can only go wrong in certain fashions. We know what the signs are when something goes wrong. Well, the same thing happens with the human body. The signs and symptoms are pretty much predictable. and movement patterns are predictable, and the way people do things are predictable. And there's only, say, 3 planes of movement that we have to really look forward to: forward, back, side, side, and rotation.
Yeah.
And you can find dysfunction in those 3 different areas. That's all we got to look for as practitioners. Unfortunately, they don't teach that at university, which is just, it's a bit of an unfortunate thing that students aren't being given the skills to understand that it's actually not that tough to analyse an injury. If you just take your time, look at the sensible fact of we're living in a 3-dimensional world, bodies move in certain ways, muscles control joints in certain movements, and there's obvious signs when something goes wrong. So, I could hear your story and have my eyes closed and I could tell you what the problem is, because human bodies do not do strange things very often.
Well, the great man.
So, yeah,
the great man.
It's a great time. So
it is. So, and I love how you're putting things together now, and it's taken it to another level where people are more available to this content that you're putting out, because it's not just content because it's fun to look at or it's entertaining. It's actually highly educational, and I've spent a lot of time with you in the last few months already. Obviously we've been shooting a fair bit of content together, and I myself have been learning, and as I watch and edit, and just listening closely to what you've been saying. And now that you've started your Sunday sermons on Instagram as well, so that's also married the entertainment side of things together too. So tell us what brought on the idea of the Sunday sermon.
Well, it started because last year, Reese Keane and myself both became ordained ministers.
Okay.
So, so we're both reverends as well now.
Very interesting. Reverend Keane and Reverend Locke.
So he's the Reverend Keane, and sure enough, I'm the Reverend Andrew Locke. So I thought, well, it's time for me to open up the Church of Rehabilitation.
Yes, perfect.
And isn't this a great thing to do? Because basically the principles that we can find in any of the famous scriptures, it doesn't matter whether it's the Quran, the Bible, the Bhagavad Gita, they're all basically straightforward principles for sensible living, but they also can be interpreted, if you wish, into sensible rehabilitation processes. Commitment to exercise programs, commitment to your spiritual goals. It's all about commitment. There's nothing out there that conflicts with that as a rule to success if your goals are set. So the rules of commitment, the rules of performance, they can be all understood in many different frameworks. So I actually find that really fascinating that we can go to words of wisdom.
I resonate with that as well. So there's certain things in my sort of professional life and my personal life that I'm like highly committed to, but then when it comes to and you're probably going to hate to hear this, but when it comes to my personal rehab, I'm atrocious. So this is something where I need to improve on, because obviously I'm going through a bit of injury, as you know, at the moment. So it's difficult to I'm finding it, disheartening sometimes to commit to some of the teachings that you've been telling me in my rehab, when I'm not getting the results straight away, but I have to commit to them. As I get stronger in those areas that need to be worked on, it'll get better. So I just need to kind of really, I need to fully commit to it, is what I'm trying to say.
So I have the joy of saying,
so this is a
confession.
Really going through, so do you take confessions?
Yeah, I do. And I also take money for confession as well. So don't worry, there's always a payment. It's glorious. I always say, if you think you're going through a tough time, you can go to the Bible and read the chapter of Job, who what his commitment to was to have his solid belief, and nothing could take him away from it. And in the end, all things turned out right. He went through a fair bit of crap to get there. And sometimes you can say things are going crap, but if I stick to what I should do, if I stick to my rehab guns, if I stick to my goals, even if shit's falling down around me, I've got a hold of the most important part that's part of me. And you do continue to go, and you come out the other side of it because you're committed. But if you let go, it ain't going to work.
So you're an ordained reverend, you're a doctor, you're a philosopher, and a little bird tells me that you're soon to be a lord. Is this true?
Well, yes.
Have we found an ancestral, a Scottish background? You might be a lord, I hear.
There is a Scottish background, and yes, through the ancestry, actually by owning a piece of land in Scotland, I'm entitled to use the word Lord Andrew Locke if I wish to.
So is this how?
Now,
So wait, two questions. One is,
yep.
we have to start calling you Lord Locke, and the second question is,
Uh,
will you start wearing kilts to the gym?
Unfortunately, because there's actually a protocol for wearing kilts. I would have to use a very special one and not the old family one because I don't have the family name for that one.
Okay.
Hey, I've got one more for you, Dr. Sam. Here's a killer. You figured out that, yes, I'm the Reverend Andrew Locke, the Dr. Andrew Locke. I am the Lord Andrew Locke, but also I am Lieutenant Colonel Andrew Locke as well.
Okay.
Back in 1984, when I was playing baseball for Australia, we were awarded lieutenant colonelships in the militia of Georgia, where we were actually working at the time, and we were training.
Oh, really?
And it was an honour that the state, it was the honour the state gave us, each of the players. So yeah, I've got this little plaque up here that says that I'm Lieutenant Colonel, aide de camp, governor's staff.
Oh my goodness! Oh, that's fantastic.
It's a lot to stick on the business card.
So obviously we're in your office, and you've got a gallery of books behind you and photos and a lot of memorabilia.
Always in here, yeah, full of good things.
Some of your favorite books there that you'd recommend during this time.
Well, I think it's important to expand our minds and to always look at other viewpoints. So a little bit masculine. I tend to like Charles Bukowski, who's a poet and a prose writer from America. Great writer. Bukowski's pretty solid.
Okay.
Definitely, I'd recommend starting off with Charles Bukowski. He's a man who liked to live in the gritty side of life. The movie Barfly with Mickey Rourke was actually based on his life.
Okay.
Based on him being in a bar, basically.
Oh. Okay.
And I think if anyone's never read Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter S. Thompson, that's a magnificent book to read.
I've seen the movie.
All right, you got to read the book.
Okay, yeah, the movie's fantastic.
It is.
Yeah, with Johnny Depp, I think, and I can't remember who the director was, but it was a phenomenal movie.
Yeah, it really is a great movie, and that was Johnny Depp and Benicio del Toro.
Yes, correct.
Yeah, great movie to watch.
Very good
As a
movie.
matter of fact, what movies are you watching? What's your favourite movie at this point, Dr. Sam? What would you take people to?
I mean, I don't want to call myself a buff in the movie game, but I do love a good movie. At the moment, I've recently watched Parasite, which was recently awarded the Academy Award. Phenomenal movie. Korean movie, subtitles.
Yes, well, the funny thing was, Julie and myself saw that the first week it came out.
Yeah.
Before anyone really, it was at one of the small theatres, and we've been recommended to see it.
Yeah.
And
love it.
we came out saying how good it was.
The cinematography was beautiful. The storytelling. I reckon I could have just put it on mute and watched it and understood what the story was. Beautiful themes of lower class, a lot of classism themes.
Agreed, yeah.
So it wasn't just a thriller. It was more about just the storytelling in a family versus family in terms of classism. So I definitely check that out. On the weekend, I watched Jojo Rabbit, which is directed by Taika Waititi. He's a New Zealander director that directed Thor, the recent Thor. Kind of a satire movie set in World War II, where a 10-year-old boy in Germany, his imaginary friend and his role model is Adolf Hitler. So you can imagine a child's kind of vision of what Adolf Hitler is as an imaginary friend and the things that he goes through, him and his mother, where his dad's gone off to war, and he learns that they're harboring a young Jewish girl, and kind of his conflict in how to deal with that as a 10-year-old boy, with Adolf Hitler being his imaginary friend. So it was quite beautiful, yeah, and it's quite funny as well, as you can imagine.
Great. Well, that sounds like something right out of the box. So we'll definitely have to see that one.
Yeah, it is. And I'm recently watching a series called Ozark. I'm a couple of years behind, but Ozark, I just started the first episode last night. It's meant to be pretty good too.
See if you last longer than I did. I didn't quite. I think after seeing Breaking Bad, I was expecting better.
Yeah.
And Ozark didn't do it for me.
Yeah, Breaking Bad, you can't beat shows like that. That's probably one of the best shows I've ever seen in my whole life.
Easily, yes.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, I think the concept behind Ozark was to follow a similar sort of feeling vein. Didn't work for me. I didn't
See
make it
that,
to
I could
season
see
2.
that, you know, obviously in a different kind of industry of obviously financial advising, but I could see that they were trying to follow that formula. But yeah, I might give it I might just tag along and see what it looks like. But checking out some documentaries as well. The most
Yes.
recent one that you know, the Tiger King, of course on Netflix. So that's been quite interesting. So I finished that off, and
Good.
also the trials of Gabriel Hernandez, which was a really sad one, about
Mm.
a about a boy that got abused and tortured and ended up getting killed by his mom and his and her boyfriend, which was horrible. So it was a terrible story, but quite interesting as well. So
So there it is. Agreed. I think the Tiger King's got a lot of people talking.
yeah, for
And
sure.
I think it's a worthwhile.
I haven't seen that many memes of one particular show come out in 1 week. It's just incredible. Yeah.
No, we'll make sure we work our way through that one for sure. I hear it keeps getting better as it goes on.
Nah, it's all good. Well, we'll leave it at that. And thanks for joining us. And hopefully everything goes well and we'll see you on the other side.
Yes, well, everyone can tune into our posted work from what you shot with us as over the various months that we put together for the lockdown time anyway. So there's going to be great information for everyone, and you'll be getting to understand things that they don't even teach at university off these particular videos. Yet straightforward facts and truths.
Speaking of, I'm looking forward to seeing, you know, our content coming out on our new Pro Raw members page. So that's going to include some delicious recipes from your better half. So I'm looking
Yes.
forward to seeing what
Super Julie.
Yeah, I loved her face mask invention the other day. So the paper towel face mask. If you haven't seen it, guys, check it out. It was awesome. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys got up your sleeves.
You get to see how lucky I am to come home to every night, huh?
Perfect. All right, big man. Thanks for joining me.
All right, Super Sam. Look forward to catching up soon.
Signing off.